Hey everyone, happy Bank Holiday Monday. I hope you don't mind me being casual. It is a bank holiday, but everyone has popped out, and there's something that's been on my mind. Quite a few conversations have happened over the last couple of weeks, and I just really want to get it out there. And I want to get your thoughts on this, and tell me if I'm being overly dramatic. But I want to talk about the rock and roll subject of budgeting. Okay, now if you work with me, you'll know that almost always one of your tasks, because most people, myself included, at the beginning don't do their budget. They don't do a budget. And one of the tasks that I'll generally say to you is, look, have a look at that, and make that part of your monthly rituals, monthly habits. And the reason I think budgeting is so important is because it's a foundational habit. Off the back of budgeting, off the top of budgeting, once you know, okay, this is my living expense. Now you can work out so many different other things, and it feeds into your goals. It'll feed into how many deals you need to do. There's a lot that it will generally feed into. Okay. Now, that being said, I have had this conversation thousands of times with thousands of different people. So I have my own data set. And I would, and there's zero science behind this number, but I would have guessed that probably about 95% to 98% of people do not know how much they spend on a monthly basis. They'll tell us as coaches, they'll say, let's say we'll use a made up example. Let's say they earn 3,000. And this is how the conversation will go. Oh, that's great. How much is it that you spend every month? Oh, well, I spend about 3,000 every month. Okay, interesting. And how much do you earn? I earn about 3,000 a month. Now, whether that figure is 2,000 or 10,000, it's always the same. Spending and the income is very similar. And there's something called Parkinson's law, which relates to productivity, and it's from The Economist. Basically, what it says is a task will expand to the time given to it. So if you're given an hour to do something, you'll take an hour. If you're given 3 hours, you'll take 3 hours. And I truly believe the same happens with money if there is no plan in place. So if you all of a sudden get a big increase in your salary or an increase in your income from whatever source, that all of a sudden you'll see your income, your expenses rising to meet that new income. And that the reason I say that budget is so important, and so that having that foundational habit in place is the fact that if you know, okay, I earned 3,000, but actually my expenses aren't 2,500. Without going crazy, I'm not saying you need to do yourself a disservice and live in a minimalist way and start riding a bicycle instead of taking a car and all that sort of thing. I'm saying just understanding what it is you're spending your money on every month. Maybe, just maybe, I'm going to pick on coffee because it's such an easy one, but maybe that £400 a month coffee habit, maybe a travel mug in that case, would be acceptable. A small sacrifice to maybe make a material gain. And where this becomes important from a coaching perspective, from a goal setting perspective, from when we sort of map out your timeline, is the fact that if, for example, using our made up example, you earned 3,000, you thought your expenses were 3,000, but actually, with not very much effort, you could bring those expenses to 2,500. That's an entire deal's difference between you hitting your financial security and not hitting your financial security. Okay? So let me know your thoughts. I don't believe this has to be over egged. Every single bank, you can just download a PDF. I'm sorry, not a PDF, an Excel spreadsheet. I'd say in the initial couple of months, it'll probably take you 2 hours a month. And then ongoing, it's probably an hour a month once you get into a habit and once you've set up your budget as you like it. And let me know your thoughts, because I just think it's a consciousness. Everything around investing is from a mindset perspective, is doing things in a conscious manner, whether it be your spending, whether it be your investing, whether it be the deals that you do, the people that you work with. It's taking that responsibility and doing things in a conscious manner. If you're working with a builder, making sure you have the right paperwork in place. If you're working with one of us, a coach, making sure that you have all the contact details, all the mechanisms, that you utilize us, that you utilize school. And the same goes for budgeting. Knowing where you sit every month is such a good, And it gives you that security because now you don't just feel like you're working for nothing, working to cover your expenses. You go, okay, fine. If I get a bonus, great. I know that that money can then be deployed elsewhere. So I don't want to drag on too long, but let me know if you watched the whole video, first of all, and let me know your thoughts because I'm really interested in how do people approach this, the sort of basic financial habits. And next week will be the review of The Psychology of Money. And I mean, he talks about that. I won't really touch on it too much in the book review, but let me know your thoughts. I'd love some feedback. I'd love to know how you guys manage things. I'd love to know if you think this is a waste of time and you just need to be out there getting more deals and earning more money. But yeah, let me know. And I look forward to seeing your feedback in the comments. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Bye.